Good evening and welcome to episode 10 in series 3, our 44th episode of Healthy Living with Marilyn. Thank you so much for joining us. Next week, we will have had our show on for a whole year. We're having our birthday next week, but I'm not going to be here and we're not going to have a show next week. I'm going to air something from Fort Lauderdale because I'll be at a retreat. But having said that, I want to tell you that we have this exciting guest tonight. And as you can see, I do not have a co-host tonight because I'm a star and Mr. Anson Williams is a star. And thank you so much for joining me tonight, Anson.
Oh, it's great to be on. Thanks.
Oh, I really appreciate it.
You bet.
Anson and I met a couple of weeks ago at a secret knock event at dinner time, and he started talking about homeopathy, and I'm a homeopath, and we just gathered up a conversation, didn't we, Anson? We
did. I'm working on I was hired to write a script based on the founder of homeopathy.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been, pretty much, into that. But now I'm way into that after doing all the research. My goodness.
Yeah, there's a lot of research.
The result and the results, it's not subjective. The bona fide results, and comparing it to various pharmaceuticals for so many things, it's so much more effective than any of that, and it's cost pennies compared to all these pharmaceutical products. And I'm just I didn't realize. Did you realize Queen Adeline, who was just before Queen Victoria?
Yeah.
Queen of England she married someone that was into homeopathy, or his relative. Anyway, she became a big fan of homeopathy. That's all she did. Then Queen Victoria, that's all she did. Queen Elizabeth, now that's all she does. Homeopathy has been a major part of the British royal family for 150 years.
For centuries. More. For centuries, yes.
Yeah, I didn't know that. I did not know that.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize. And Beethoven lived. With all his ills,
right?
He lived longer thanks to homeopathy. And Haydn, same thing. He was terminal, and it gave him years more of life. These were during the days where it was a harsh life. It was very, nothing was disinfected, and it was just a much harsher environment for a lifespan.
Well, yeah, it is.
I was blown away.
I have a homeopathic remedy right here. I've been a homeopath for 38 years, so I know.
Wow.
Homeopathy saved my life when I got stung by a bee a long time ago, and I was 45 minutes from the hospital, and somebody had given me Apis, which is made from bee venom. And I started taking it, and all the symptoms subsided. 20 minutes later, I felt better, and 3 hours later, I hadn't even felt like I'd been stung by a bee. It was amazing. And I said, that's what I'm doing.
Sorry, well, it's also very organic to the body.
It is.
Life cures life. Mm-hmm. And the Samuel, Hahnemann's like a prophet, man. He just, because he was a chemist and a regular doctor, but he just had it down. He knew exactly the effect and why.
Exactly.
And even back then, the big problem was with all these other, the regular physicians who did bleeding and they did, what are they called? What are they that suck the blood?
The leeches. The leeches.
The leeches and all that. And but they were losing money.
Yeah.
They were losing money because it was curing people so cheaply, and they literally politically tried to stop it.
Right, they did. I know. Homeopathy rocks. My kids use it all the time. I have a lot of. It's.
Oh, how many kids?
I have 3.
Wow.
I have 3 kids, yeah. I have 2 that live near me in Richmond, and I have a son who lives out near you in Long Beach. Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
What's he do?
He works for an advertising company called Team One up in L.A. He's a creative technologist.
Oh, great. Fantastic.
Yeah, that's what he does. Yep.
That's fantastic.
And the nice part about having gone out to San Diego was I got to see him and his wife and spend part of a day with them. So that was awesome.
Oh, yeah. Isn't it a beautiful area?
It is. It's a great area, you know. And of course, I didn't do any driving. I just got an Uber. That's what I did. That's what I do. I had first rented a car and it's like, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to Uber it. And that's what I did. So from now on, when I travel, I just Uber it or take the Lyft.
Is this the first time you went to Secret Knock?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
What brought you there?
Somebody that I know told me I had to go. Bottom line. So I went. Yeah.
What area of business are they in?
He's a coach. He's a coach. His name is Chris Salem, and he's a coach. Yeah.
Right.
So he said, Marilyn, you got to go to this. It's awesome. It's like, okay, I'll go. So
it is awesome. Too.
It is awesome. It is. It really I met you. I've met a lot of people,
Yeah.
It's if you all ever get a chance to go to Secret Knock, you got to get vetted. You've got to, fill out an application, but it is so worth it. So worth it. And there's about 5 of us Secret Knockers in Richmond.
Oh, that's cool. And I didn't believe the guy that, created the God particle, was there.
Oh, yes. He was awesome.
I mean, the people that were there are crazy,
They're interesting. People. They're smart. They're very intelligent. Yep.
Duh.
Really, really. So I read your book, and I was so interested in the alert drops that you were talking about and how you managed to tell us the story about the alert drops, because I know that you are good friends and relatives with Henry Heimlich, who developed the Heimlich maneuver, right?
Yeah, he created the Heimlich maneuver. Well, Dr. Heimlich passed away a year ago last December, but...
Oh, did he?
He's actually... Yeah, but he was 96.
96.
And he's actually my second cousin, but I've called him uncle ever since I was born.
Yeah.
And in fact, together we got the Heimlich maneuver on national television for the first time. I think you read about that in the book.
On the Merv Griffin show, didn't you?
You're right.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And but anyway, but years ago, I was directing a show called Slap Maxwell, and we were on location outside of L.A. in the local desert called Palmdale. Very hot day, exhausting. And driving home, I blacked out. I fell asleep at the wheel for like 5 seconds.
That's all it takes.
I woke up bouncing around in the desert. I was so lucky I didn't kill myself. And it scared the heck out of me. It was just the weirdest experience. And when I told Dr. Heimlich about it, Dr. Heimlich is brilliant in terms of knowing the sensory connection of the body, how the body helps the body. And he explained to me if I cut up lemons, and whenever I felt that exhaustion coming on, to bite into it. And he said the citric acid with the sour lemon will hit the lingual nerve on top of the tongue. And the automatic reflex reaction of the body is adrenaline.
Wow.
So you're up, you're alert instantly, nothing in your system. Your own body waking the body. So I would do that for years, and I never had the problem again. And then through the years, I went into the product business along with entertainment. I loved creating or finding the team to create problem-solving products that never existed. And I started researching drowsy driving. And it's everyone listening. I mean, they must know it is catastrophic in this country.
It is.
It's in the top 4. It's guns, and it's drunk driving, and it's medicated driving, and it's drowsy driving. Those are the killers of the country. In 2012, the National Sleep Foundation did a study back then. There were 168 million drowsy drivers a year. 1 out of 5 admitting to falling asleep. 1 out of 5 accidents at least. More deaths, damage, and than medicated and drunk driving combined. More deaths than them combined. Tearing families apart. I mean, a horrible, catastrophic situation that can be solved. And I had an idea, and I called Dr. Heimlich. I call him Hank. And I said, well, you're the expert, but what if we took citric acid, the right amount of citric acid, the right amount of natural sour lemon, water, put it in a little spray drop. And what if we just sprayed the top of the tongue right on that nerve? He said, my God, Anson, that'll be more powerful than just the lemon. It will save thousands of more lives in the Heimlich maneuver. Do it. Promise me you'll do it. So we did it. We created Alert Drops.
Wow.
And if people go to alertdrops.com, they'll read all about it, just as natural as can be product, with your own body waking the body. They'll read all about it. They'll read the story about Dr. Heimlich. They'll read all the science behind it. It's very old science. They'll read testimonials of lives saved. They'll see we've been honored by the United States Congress, by the California State Senate, by the City of Los Angeles, on and on and on. But more importantly, it has saved lives. For anyone out there, for your family, for your friends, it's your responsibility to go to alertdrops.com because it definitely can save your life.
And
I'm passionate about it. I'm passionate about it because I know it works.
Yeah, and it's called, for friends that are out here, listen, it's called alertdrops.com, okay? It's a spray. I've seen it. Greg Reed sprayed some on his, I remember when you were being interviewed by him at Secret Knock, and he sprayed some on his tongue, and he says, oh, that is so lemony. Remember that?
Right. He goes, oh, my God. He jumped out of his chair.
I know. And he's a quad A personality, but it works.
I know.
It so works, which is,
and and nothing in the system. People say, well, I drink caffeine. Well, that's great, but it takes 20 minutes to take effect, and you need too much of it. So it screws up your sleep pattern. It's a merry-go-round of exhaustion.
Right.
And then putting the radio off doesn't work. The window doesn't work. None of it works. The only thing that works is sensory connection to tongue and brain,
right,
or good sleep. That is it. That's the only thing. The other thing we're finding people are being helped a lot that have exhausting jobs. You know, heavy machine operators, EMT personnel, doctors, nurses, construction workers, anybody that needs to be alert for safety. It's a wonderful product for those professions too. Anyone who needs to be alert, kids in classrooms before a test. I mean, it's very simple, natural reaction of adrenaline coming from the lingual nerve on the tongue. That's all it is. It's a reflex reaction, just like going to the doctor and they have their little rubber mallet.
Right.
And they'll test your knee. It's the same thing. That's a reflex reaction. Sour lemon and citric acid on the lingual nerve as a reflex reaction of adrenaline. It's that simple.
Wow. Yeah, and so it would help somebody who is working third shift, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because when you work third shift, that messes your circadian rhythm up. It's really, really hard, when you're working at night and you got to sleep during the day. So it would be great. I never thought of that. I always thought, when you were talking about it on stage that day, and we were talking about the driving and the drowsy driving, but it can work for a lot of other professions, like you said, policemen, firemen, EMTs, teachers, kids.
The other thing that was interesting, it's never been tested for this at all, but we've gotten thank you texts and letters from people going through chemotherapy. They were saying that they're so exhausted, and it really brings that alert drop. It woke them up.
It woke them
up, and it made them feel better. I went, wow. So evidently that lingual nerve is pretty powerful to cut through that. But again, it hasn't been tested for that, but we have people that swear by it.
Well, I can't wait to get a hold of some of that because I have some clients that could really use it, and probably some family members as well.
Oh yeah,
really.
People can go to people can go to Amazon.com.
Okay.
And you can get up to 12 packs at half price.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so you go to Amazon.com and you put in the top, you Google Alert Drops, right?
Right.
And they'll come out, and you can get packages of them for a very reduced rate, and they'll send. And if you have Prime, they'll send them to you in 2 days. 2 days.
Well, we do it. We do it too. It's not Prime, but it's we guarantee it's all free shipping, and it gets there very quickly.
Oh, does it? So you don't have Prime on there, but it'll get there.
We have Prime. Prime for the 12 and 6 packs.
The 12 and 6 pack. So yeah, I mean, it's worth it. And to do the Prime thing, you know, I mean, you can give it, if you get a 12 pack, you could give it to some of your friends, you know, if they're having issues. Like, it would help for a new mom. Wouldn't it help for a new mom who's up half the night and feeding a baby and stuff? Man, I wish I had this years ago, Anson. Gosh, I wish I had this years ago.
Oh, yeah. I mean, at least it'll wake you up. But the thing that's great about it is you can go back to sleep.
Right.
It's not in your system.
It's not like caffeine or anything like that.
Oh.
Yeah.
Or this other crap that's on the market that causes brain hemorrhages and whatever.
Yeah,
all that stuff's phony stuff, and will just absolutely destroy you in the long term.
Yeah, I know. But this is all natural. You know, it's got water, citric acid, and lemon, right?
Yeah, and a little preservative because we have shelf life. But that's it, and it's like literally a spray.
Yeah.
It's just the hit on the nerve of the citric acid with the sour lemon. That's what connects and, you know, gives you that reflex.
Yeah. So just open your mouth, pull your tongue out, and spray and say "ah," and there you're wide awake.
That's it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's
and
awesome.
It's very old science. MIT did studies on it years ago.
Yeah.
All these research facilities did all this research years ago, and you know, all we did was Dr. Heimlich's brilliance of understanding it. All the research has been done. All I did was figure out a way to put it in a more civilized, easy way to distribute it.
Yeah, and it's like in a really short tube, like half a pencil size or something. It's not very big.
Yeah, it fits in your pocket. But there's over 80 sprays.
80 sprays? Wow.
Over 80 sprays.
You know, you can put it in your pocket. You can put it in your purse. You know, you can store it in the glove box of your car or in the little thing.
You just have to make sure, like any liquid, you don't want it in freezing conditions.
Right. You don't want it in freezing, but you don't want it in very hot either.
No, you want like just normal temperature.
Right, normal temperature. So don't leave it in your car. Take it out of your car. Just put it in your purse.
Yeah, don't leave it where it's hot or super cold. Just where it's ever just normal temperature. Your pocket, your purse, your house. Yeah. Right.
In your pantry, in your spice cabinet, wherever you need it. By your bedroom. Yeah. Wouldn't it be great? I'm not a morning person. It would be great to help me wake up in the morning, wouldn't it?
Oh, totally.
I thought so. Yeah.
Totally.
So if you're not a morning person, like I'm not, only this past couple weeks I've been a morning person because I've been working on my book, which I just finished, by the way.
Right.
Yeah, it's called Be Amazing, How to Stay Motivated to Achieve Results in a Fast-Paced World. Coming out next week.
That's great.
Thank you. Yeah. Well, the proof's coming out next week. It'll be out on Amazon in a couple weeks after that. But yeah. So I got that done. And but I was up at 2:30 this morning, my time.
Right.
Yeah, you know, and I've been up since 2:30 this morning, my time. So those alert drops would be good right about now. You know,
they would.
Mm-hmm. But I'm hanging in there.
I wish I would have had the manufacturer when I wrote my book, because I called it the 2 a.m. book.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah,
that's when I was writing it. You know?
Mine is like I get up to between 2:30 and 4:30, and I'm up for the rest of the day.
Right. Yeah, I understand.
You know, and I thought I would never have to do that. But when you're in crunch time, like with you with your shows next week, when you're in crunch time, you got to do what you got to do.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's, well, like any business, any entrepreneurial venture, it's, it's always crunch time. But it's learning to deal with it in an unpressured way, you know.
Yeah. And speaking of crunch time with some of my friends, one of my friends, her name is Lisa Hazelgrove. She's one of my partners. And Lisa, if you're out there, hi, how are you doing? Thanks for your help earlier. She's having a function, an event on the 10th. And we have an organization here called HEAL, which is holistic educators affecting lives. And she's going to have Julie, one of our friends in college, Julie Moon, who's a nurse, and she's a speaker and trainer. And she's going to talk about using the BANK, B-A-N-K methodology to foster more meaningful, fruitful business relationships and get more yeses when working with clients. That sounds pretty good.
Right.
Yeah.
That sounds good.
Yeah. So she's having it Tuesday evening on April 10th down in Richmond at the Resonance Float and Sound. So if you're in the Richmond area, you know, go there. It's free. I do free. And it's Tuesday evening, April 10th from 6:30 to 8 o'clock. And she always has such great people coming in. I've been there a couple times. There's been some times when I haven't been able to go. But this is a place where they have a float tank, and they have a sound machine, and they have a sauna. The place is awesome. It is wonderful, Anson.
Take me.
Yeah.
Please.
Really. It is so nice.
Sounds amazing.
Float tanks have gotten up pretty. They've been blossoming around here. We've got another float tank called the Float Zone. I met that guy at a networking meeting a couple weeks ago. And they have several float tanks where this float zone is. I haven't been there, but it's like after going through my book, I need to go float. You know? I really need to go float.
That makes sense.
Yeah. It's like instead of Calgon take me away, float bath take me away. That's what I need.
Oh God, yeah. Yeah, this sounds fantastic.
Have you ever been in a float tank?
It's funny. I've never been in a float tank, but sometimes I'll go down one of those lazy rivers at a hotel.
Yeah.
It just takes me away, just floating down quietly.
I know. It's almost.
But I can imagine but I'd love to try. A float.
I tried a float tank. I've tried a float tank. I was giving a talk at the big homeopathic convention in 1990. There's a float tank facility before float tanks were really in, across the street from the hotel, and I decided I was going to try it. It was one of the best experiences I ever had, ever.
Yeah, I bet it is.
You just go out into la-la land, and it's just such a wonderful experience. It's like, how do I get back? You don't want to get back because you feel so good.
It's a nice vacation, la-la land.
Yeah, I like la-la land. I'd like to find some la-la and get some sleep this weekend, That's my goal. I know. My business partner told me writing a book, Marilyn, is like delivering a baby. You just have to keep moving. It's temporary. You just have to keep moving and do your thing. I said, I said, that's something to think about. It's like delivering a baby. It's like having a baby because that's what you're doing. Yeah. You're molding this book. I'm not telling you anything new. This is the cover of Anson's book. This book is awesome. It's a really fast read, and I'm not a fast reader. But Anson wrote this book called Singing to a Bulldog. And it is such a great book. It is inspiring. He talks about his friend Willie, who he worked with. And a lot of the other, being on Happy Days and working with Gary Marshall and Ron Howard. It's a great book. It's a great read. Congratulations. It's like Ron Howard says, a truly inspiring book of life's lessons. And you've taught a lot of life's lessons in here, and you've learned a lot, Anson. It's awesome.
Well, it all comes from Willie Turner. I know. I grew up. Not almost poor, like lower middle class. Never more than $100 in the bank. One bathroom house, and really basic upbringing. A number in the world, and didn't have a lot of confidence. Had kind of a harsh upbringing. And Willie Turner I was a part-time janitor while going to high school, and Willie Turner was my janitorial boss. Mm-hmm. And he was African-American, mid-50s, not well-educated, a functioning alcoholic, but a prophet, absolute prophet. He had so many friends, and he called his janitorial room the talk room. Mm-hmm. And he'd have 2 oil drum cans in there, and he was the first person I ever remembered that talked to me, not at me. And Willie Turner gave me life's lessons to help me find me. By the time I was done with that job, I knew who I was, where I was going, and had the confidence to do it. Without Willie, I wouldn't be talking to you today. So what I wanted to do, I wanted to write a book with these Forrest Gump stories. I mean, literally, I was kidnapped by the President of the United States' daughter.
Yeah, I read about that. Susan Ford got you, didn't she?
Yeah, totally Forrest Gump stories. Meeting Elvis Presley in a parking lot. I mean, crazy stories, but there's always a bigger story to the story, going back to the talk room. And letting the reader have a chance to speak with Willie, giving the reader the same opportunity to be able to hear his wisdom the same way I did. So basically, the book was to pay Willie forward. Yeah,
I mean, he was an amazing man. You were so blessed to know him. So blessed, and the universe and God, they just put him in your path. Because
they did. Well, and also it taught me at an early age, you're not going to get your magic from some billionaire movie star.
Right.
You're going to get your magic from some person you just there.
Mm-hmm.
If you get a feeling, go with it. Because that and don't judge him by his or her color or religion or judge him by the feeling of feeling right.
Right. And it's what's inside.
That's your teacher. That's your teacher that's going to move you forward.
That's
Be
right.
sensitive to it. Don't judge.
Right. And that, it's I could feel his energy when I was reading that book. And it's like, no, he wasn't educated, but in essence he was educated.
Oh,
because he taught you lifelong lessons that got you where you are today.
Well, how about that one story where that poem that really meant everything that poem is the way he lived his life.
Right.
Was the same poem that the leader of the free world read every day.
Right. Right.
Remember?
Yes, I do. And he was very, very educated. He just didn't have the education that you and I have, but he was educated in his own right, and that was what made him so special.
Yeah. He was attached to our Creator. He just had the knowledge of cause and effect and the direction one should go and the way one should live. He just had that magic. It was, he was just connected to it. And he was prophet-like to me.
Yeah.
And he was prophet-like to a lot of people. I mean, even in the book, the mayor of Burbank would come hang out with him in the janitorial room. He saved his life one time.
Yeah.
And, but this guy had so many friends and he was so insightful and he gave so much inspiration to so many people. And, you look at him, he's a janitor. No, he was a prophet.
Yes. That janitor was just a side job. Really.
Mm-hmm.
Really.
That was the excuse to meet. That was the excuse to meet people he was supposed to meet.
Right. Right. Yeah.
And change lives.
Yeah, change lives. Speaking of somebody who changes lives, I go to a personal trainer because one day I woke up and my intuition said, Marilyn, you can't do this alone. You just can't. And I have to lose weight. And I have to get healthy. And my kids have been getting at me. I have to do this. Mom, get healthy, lose weight, do what you need to do. So I called my personal trainer. Her name is Aubrey Eicher. Aubrey, if you're out there, thank you so much. And she's got a fresh start in 2018. She's got 12 weeks. She's offering a 12-week to sustainable lifestyle change. This gal is a holistic professional. She is awesome. She keeps me motivated. She keeps me going. And if you need to get in touch with her, her number is 804-367-3589, or you can get in touch with her with richmond-wellness.com. She's awesome. She's absolutely wonderful. She has kept me going. I'll tell you, Anson, she saved my life. She really did.
Well, there you go. That's your Willie.
Yeah, she's my Willie. Yeah, she really is.
Mm-hmm.
She is totally my Willie. Yeah, Aubrey, so if you're out there, you're my Willie. She got me going to hot yoga, Anson. Hot yoga. Yeah.
Oh, that sounds hot.
It was hot. It is. I don't call it the yoga room. I call it the yoga womb. And
yeah.
And one day when I wanted to go to yoga and I couldn't go to yoga because I was with my grandson, my little 3.5-year-old. What's his name? Jacob. Yeah, Jacob. I wanted to go to the earlier hot yoga, which was an hour. I couldn't make it to that one. So I went to the 90-minute hot yoga class. And I walked in and the gal who was teaching it, she says, "How you doing, Marilyn?" And I said, "I am scared to death." Scared to death. She says, "Why?" And I said, "Because I've never done a 90-minute yoga class." And I went in there and I hit the wall a couple times. The room was spinning and I hit the wall. But then I made it through. And when she said namaste, let me tell you, I started bawling. I could not believe I made it through 90 minutes. It was awesome.
Wow. That's cool.
It was cool. It was cool. And it was one of the most exciting things I have done, getting out of my comfort zone. I mean, that was really out of my comfort zone. Totally.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And I'm
That's
doing...
That's how you move forward.
That's how you move forward. You've got to remember, you got to climb that mountain. There's ways to get to the top. You know, so you out there, there's ways to get to the top of that mountain. I remember the story that you had in your book. You were going for an audition with Ron Howard to get on Happy Days, and your car flunked on you. Remember that?
Right.
And it started pouring rain, and you didn't know what to do. And you called AAA, and they said, well, it's going to take a couple hours. And the long and short of it is you finally made it there, barely. Your name was still on the way, you know, the doorway to get in. But you almost didn't make it there. And that's, talk about climbing the ladder, getting to the top of the mountain. You know, you kept persevering because you had Willie's voice in the back of your head.
Yep. He said, you keep climbing, boy.
Yep.
You move forward, boy. You don't look at the mountain, you climbs it.
Yep.
That's who makes it in life.
That's what
Too many people, they looks at the mountain.
Yep.
You climbs that mountain.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So,
you know, I wrote on my Facebook page this morning, because I write Be Amazing posts on my Facebook page every day. So look for my book, Be Amazing, How to Stay Motivated to Achieve Results in a Fast-Paced World. And the thing I wrote this morning, the post I wrote this morning was, the ones who are running towards their dreams are the ones who will cross the finish line. Start running, be a winner, be amazing. Because if you run, you keep running, you're going to make it to that finish line. And Anson, you are a true example of how people can do that. It's amazing.
Well, you know, too many times the societal merry-go-round will like stop you.
I know.
It's just such a limitation in terms of what you can be, and so few people really take the time to find out who they are, because from birth we're told who we are.
That's right.
Very few of us have a chance to discover ourselves. I mean, we all have a natural place in this world. We're no different than the nature that grows from the ground, or animals that are born. They all find their natural place. We're not an accident, but they unplug us right from birth, and we don't have a chance to find out who we are to find out where we're placed.
That's right.
And it takes years to discover that, which we should have from birth.
Mm-hmm.
You know? And I'll tell you, you know, it's so interesting. You know, I can write, not actually Thomas Jefferson wrote, but I took it from him. A self-help book in 3 words. Do you know you can write a self-help book? Every self-help book ever written, ever. You could take, you'd open the book and there's 3 words and it'll change your life.
That's right.
It'll make your life. Mm-hmm. What are the 3 words?
I am. I don't know what the third one is. What is it?
Cause and effect.
Cause and effect. Okay.
Every thought you think, effect. Everything you eat, effect. Every step you take, effect. Everything in life is cause and effect, good or bad. Like Thomas Jefferson said, he said, God is in us. Wait, he said, we know good from bad. It's, you know, you put your finger in a fire, you're not going to do that again. That's the effect. He said, when you're connected to who we are, we feel right and wrong. We know we will make the right choices because we know the effect of bad choices.
Right.
That is every self-help book. What is it? Think yourself well. Think yourself happy. It's all cause and effect. So that's it. I mean, that is, those 3 words will make your life or break your life.
That's right. Well, I guess my book, Be Amazing, is going to be a cause and effect book, because I've got a lot of that.
Well, it's amazing. What you're telling people, you're giving people inspiration of what to do to be amazing, right?
That's right. Be amazing.
That's the effect of your book.
That's right.
So same thing here. Yeah. So I mean, people, you know, but they don't. It's funny that people they just get on kind of a fast food binge of thinking. And it's becoming a soundbite society, and if people are telling you what to believe, and really they've got it manufactured. Here's what you're going to believe. Here's what you're going to, you know. Here's what you're going to eat. Here's what you're going to. I mean, so programmed.
Right.
And just, you know, no one goes into, not enough people go into depth anymore. No one goes to the next step to really connect with themselves. It's a total disconnect, and you're connecting to technology. You're connecting to words and images and you know, propaganda, you know, in terms of manipulating your head around or whatever. And it's kind of a mess. Well,
it is. And the other thing is, you know, so many people, because we have laptops, we have phones, we have iPads, we have tablets. They're all attached to those things. And one of the things in my book, I say, you have to take some time to detach from all of that. You know, get back into socializing with people, talk to people. My business partner and I had a gathering at my house because we're going to have a retreat called Creating the Amazing You. And here's the card, Michael. Creating the Amazing You. And we're going to have it in April. And we decided to send snail mail invites out. And we had, the first time, we had over 45% of the people showed up with friends. With friends. People miss snail mail. They miss getting mail. You know, they get bills and they get junk, but they don't get the cards. They don't get the thinking of you cards, the, you know, how you doing cards. Yeah. Let's go have
when you get that, what's the difference when you find something in the mail and you open it up and it's a thank you, handwritten, right?
Right.
Or you get a text that says, "Oh, happy birthday," right? Do you notice the different feeling? Do you notice the different feeling? It literally changes your body. It literally changes your body chemistry.
It does.
Talk about homeopathy. You know, and you know the vital force.
That's right. Yeah.
It changes your energy.
It does. It does.
There's something there, it's scientific. It changes your energy.
Yeah.
Much more than texting it.
Yeah.
Because it does something to your endorphins. When you shake a hand, it does something to endorphins. When you hug, it does something to endorphins. When you look at someone in the eyes, it's going back to basics. That is the healer. And that's the motivator to climb your mountain.
And we've lost that with all the electronical gadgets we have.
Yeah, well, it's all good, the electronics, but it's unbalanced.
I know.
You know, it's becoming, we're just becoming, so detached from each other. And and what it is, honestly, it's no different than gambling. It's an addiction.
It is.
And and everybody is very prone to addictions.
That's right.
You don't even, really, it doesn't have to be booze. It doesn't have to be drugs. It doesn't have to be gambling. There's a lot of addictions. There's TV addiction. There's this addiction. There's that. There's some, and boy, this is just one big addiction.
And a lot of times, as we know, getting on social media, it's a time sucker. It sucks all your time out. And
it does, and it really doesn't move you forward very much.
No, it doesn't. And speaking of homeopathy, I've got this new homeopathic remedy. It's called the HGH. It's that HGH gel that Greg had. This stuff is amazing. A couple weeks ago, I was with my daughter, and we were going to go for a walk because I'm training for a 5K. In May.
Right.
Okay, that's on my living list. I don't have a bucket list. I have a living list. So I'm training for this 5K, and she said one day, she says, let's take the boys. I have a 3.5-year-old and a 1.5-year-old grandson. Let's take the boys, and we will go for a 3-mile walk. Okay, I can do that. So we went, and we were walking around the lakes and everything, and there was one time when my grandson grabbed my hand, and he said, come on, Grandma, let's run. Really? So I ran, and we ran. I'm telling you, Anson, we ran for almost a quarter of a mile. He's 3.5.
Oh,
and I made it through that 3 miles. And when we got back to my daughter's house, she said, Mom, after I had Sammy when I was on maternity leave, you couldn't even run a mile without dying. And now you ran and walked 3 miles. She says, what's the deal?
Right.
I've never seen you do that. Well, it's this HGH gel that has really helped me. That you put on your skin. It's awesome. It's really, really awesome, and I love it.
I know. I think I tried it a little bit when I was at the Secret Knock. It was there, right? Isn't that one?
Yeah.
It's a wonderful product, and I was looking at all the. I was looking at all the, just the background.
What it does.
It's very impressive product,
and it's homeopathic. Anson, it's homeopathic. There's no side effects to it. And you just put like 2 drops, the size of peas on your wrist, and you just rub it around. It's simple. It's great.
Yeah.
And it has given me energy. I guess that's why I've been able to stay up since 2:30 this morning, because I still have energy. And I'll tell you something else. And this is probably TMI for everybody, but in the intimate area of your house, it will take you from 0 to hero.
Where do I get mine? No.
Give me a call and I'll get you signed up. Seriously, this stuff is amazing. It is absolutely amazing. I've lost weight on it. I've lost 5 pounds just by being on this stuff. You know, and at my age, it takes me a while to lose weight because my metabolism, it boosts your metabolism. I mean, this stuff is awesome. So if anybody wants to know about it, just give me a call. My number is 804-350-0034, or send me a private message on Facebook, or just send me an email at toppriorityllc@gmail.com. My business is called Top Priority because I want everybody's life and health to be their top priority. It is so important. So you guys want to try this? It is awesome. Absolutely awesome. And it keeps you out of the doctor. It keeps you healthy. It boosts your immune system. I can't say enough about it. I've had so many good reactions to it. I think that's why I was able to make it through 90 minutes of hot yoga a couple of days ago. Honest to goodness.
That's it.
It's hard. You know, when I go through these hot yoga classes, and I'm telling my viewers this, if it was easy, as Anson knows, if it was easy, everybody would be doing it, right, Anson?
Right.
Everybody would be doing it. It's not easy. Getting up and writing a book is not easy. Going to hot yoga is not easy. Anson flying on a plane and having to do it at the red eye, that's not easy. Yeah. That's when you need those drops, Anson.
That's right. But but nothing, you know, anything, I mean, any new creation is hard, but it's also exciting. I mean, it's not given to you. You're climbing the mountain. You're
climbing the mountain.
But you wouldn't last if you didn't climb the mountain. You need to pay your dues to have the knowledge to be able to stay on top.
Yep.
You know, you need the humility and you need the knowledge.
And you need to fail forward. Fail forward.
You need to, like Richard Branson said, you know, I fell off this mountain 3 times. That's why I made it.
That's right.
He said if I wouldn't have challenged myself, he didn't say fail. Challenged myself 3 times. He said I wouldn't have had the knowledge and the humility to last.
Right. So you got to fail forward and don't be afraid to fail. And I failed a good times.
You never fail.
You learn. Fail. It's a learning experience.
You learn and it gets you to a higher level.
That's right. Absolutely.
That's all. It really does.
It does.
You know, and remember, you got to look at the track. Look at the long term. The track. Don't look so short ahead. Look at the long term.
That's
the long race.
Yeah, it's a marathon.
Don't get in the way of yourself.
That's right. It's a marathon.
People get in the way of themselves and they trip themselves.
Right. Yeah, keep your brain out of the way when you're climbing that mountain. You know, use your intuition. Just keep going. Yeah. It's not a thinking, it's a doing. Right? It's a total doing.
It's instinctual. And don't talk to too many people. Don't let people talk you out of it.
That's right.
If it feels right, do it. Do it. There'll always be people that tell you you're crazy.
Or you'll never make it. You'll never make it. You'll never be able to run that race. You know, you'll never be able to, sing in front of anybody or do whatever. You'll never be able to act with Ron Howard and Henry Winkler, whatever, Yeah.
But that's not true. You got to go with your gut, You got to go with this and move forward. And do not listen to people. Don't listen to society. God forbid.
Oh yeah. I agree with that. Don't listen to the naysayers,
No.
And don't listen to if you have negative people in your life, it's time to create a distance between you and those negative people.
Yeah, truly. We all have a higher, all of us. There is, however you want to define it, there is a higher power.
There is.
A loving, higher. I mean, that is eternal and forever. It's just like space that never ends.
That's right.
Power never ends.
That's right.
And we can be as far away from this endless universe or as close to this endless universe if you connect to it. And so you just got to take that plug that's been unplugged, plug it back in, and get those instincts back and move forward. You will be taken to the right places.
You will. You just have to believe, and you have to trust in your inner self and that intuition that's between your eyes.
That's it.
That's it. You have to listen to it.
It's something, and it's bigger than you that's going on in there. It's bigger than you.
I just believe that our lives were predestined before we were even born. That's just what I believe. Somebody knew what we were going to do before we were going to do it.
Except a lot of people, the reason there's so much sickness and this and that is people, they're not living the life they're supposed to.
I know.
They've been detached, and they don't know why they're so miserable. It's because they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing.
Or they're afraid.
They're not living the life they're supposed to be living.
Yeah.
You know?
Or they're afraid. That's really.
Yeah, when they call us soulmates and all that, that's when it just happens to be correct. You know, it just happens to be correct.
That's right.
You know? But, you know, and there are people that do find themselves. They find their place. Mm-hmm. And that's who you want to be around.
Right.
You want to be inspired to find your place.
Yep, because the 5 people that you hang with, you're the average of the 5 people you hang with.
Mm-hmm.
You know? So you want to hang with people, you know, that are more successful, that are very successful, that know people that can help you out, because that's what you need to do, and that's what I'm doing. Right. So, I mean, Secret Knock was the pinnacle of my year, and it's only the beginning of the year.
Right.
You know, and meeting different people. And those people, they're just like me. They're just like you. They're just like everybody else. They put their pants on just like we do. Anson, when I met Anson, you know, when I met you, I could not put, I remembered your voice because I have perfect pitch, but I couldn't put you with Potsy. I couldn't do it. And I woke up in the middle of the night that night, and I said, oh, that's Potsy Weber. And I went right back to sleep. Because you and I started talking about homeopathy, you know, and that's one of my big loves because I've been a homeopath for 38 years. And you and I started talking about it, and Samuel Hahnemann and how he started with malaria and, you know, the quinine and everything. And that's what you and I were talking about. And I remembered your voice, but I couldn't put it with who you really were. So it's like, okay, that's cool. You know?
That's funny. Yeah. Who else did you meet that inspired you there?
Ron Klein. Ron Klein inspired me. Yep. He's the grandfather of possibilities.
Right.
He is amazing. He is amazing. Amazing. And then I had a nice conversation with Brian Sidorsky, who, you know, bought the dirt out 8 miles from Main Street and made something out of it.
Right.
Yeah, that was amazing. That really was.
What did he do? What did he do exactly?
He would be on Main Street someplace. He owned furniture companies, furniture stores up in someplace in Canada. And he would go to a Main Street, like little old Main Street, and he'd go out 8 miles and he'd buy that plot of dirt, and then he'd like build a strip mall or something. And that's what he did. And like Greg said, he just made his money on dirt, you know, and now he is the chancellor for junior achievement globally. That's what he does.
Right. I think I met him. He was really a nice guy.
Really a great guy. I spent time at breakfast with him one day. In fact, he had a trigger finger, and I took care of his trigger finger, his trigger thumb. So. Oh, wow. Yeah. Okay. It was pretty. Oh, wow. I was pretty honored to be able to do that. That was pretty cool. So yeah. So he's very smart, very intelligent.
Hello?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So he did more than dirt. I mean, he literally developed property too.
Oh yeah.
It was more than dirt.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. But he found the dirt and then he developed the property. You know.
Right. He kind of did what Sam Walton did.
Yep, he did.
Sam Walton would find he'd be in a little Cessna plane. And he'd find his spots for Walmart.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was pretty amazing. That was really good. Yeah. And then Sharon Lecter, we had dinner with her that night. That was good.
Oh yeah, Sharon's great.
And then Frank Shankwitz, who was the meaning around the movie Wishman.
Yeah,
he started the Make-A-Wish Foundation. Amazing man, absolutely amazing, and very, very friendly. Would take time to talk to you, and of course Andrew Steele, his actor, the actor who played him. He played him. Yeah, he played him in Wishman. Yeah. So right. Yeah, so that was really good. Who did you meet that was interesting?
gosh, I met. Oh gosh, well, you. I met a lot
Well,
of.
thank you. That's so nice of you to say that.
It was what's her name? It was Valet and her mother. I think they're Iranian. She works at the White House. Her mom has a consulting business for the government. Did you meet them?
No, I didn't. Did you meet Dr. Anton Chevalier? He was the doctor that works at the White House, the French doctor who works at the White House.
No, I didn't meet him.
He was the guy that he helped serial killers get better. Did you miss that part?
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
that's great.
Yeah. I want him on my show. He's going to be on my show sometime soon, so yeah.
Yeah. I'm so bad with names though. But I met. It was very interesting. And then I met the Indian man who
is the only guy who's allowed to go to the moon.
Right. Exactly.
His last name was Jane. I can't remember his first name. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
I didn't meet him, but I thought, man, the only guy who is allowed to get off Earth. How cool is that?
Yeah. Yeah. He's a pretty smart guy.
Yeah. Really smart guy. And my husband's looking like, really, that happened? Yeah, we did see him, Xenophon, obviously. Yeah. It was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was really neat.
And then he developed that test where you can figure out what you're allergic to in your gut.
Right. The mind-gut thing. Yeah, I was really interested in that because I am a digestive enzyme specialist. So it's like, wow, somebody else knows about digestion. How cool is that? You know?
Yeah.
I want to ask you about your alert drops. That doesn't go through your digestive system because it goes directly into your tongue and it goes directly into your system. Okay.
Yeah, it's like it doesn't. Yeah, I mean it's literally a little bit of spray. That's it. Mm-hmm. It's nothing. Not even detectable.
Right. Only it tastes.
It's basically a rubber mallet getting a reflex reaction.
Only it tastes really lemony, as Greg said.
Really
lemony. So it will wake you up. But I have a degree in vocal performance, and I used to sing a lot. And what I would do before I would go on stage, I would suck a lemon before I'd go on stage to clear my throat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. I needed those drops like in the 60s and 70s and 80s,
Right. Yes.
So
those were days. Let me ask you something about do you like turmeric as much as I do?
Oh, I love turmeric, but you have to put it with black pepper in order for it to work right.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, it's the combination.
Right. Yeah. I have a turmeric ginger tea, which is awesome. It's a loose tea, but it is delicious.
Yeah. It's a hell of an inflammatory,
Yeah, it's an anti-inflammatory. Yeah. It's great. So, if you're having inflammatory issues, a turmeric tea with black pepper, it's awesome. It really helps with the inflammation. In fact, speaking of inflammation, a couple days ago, I got a bad cramp in my ankle, and I was walking around like a peg lady. I couldn't even walk it out. I put some of that HGH gel on it, and within seconds, it worked. Within seconds, and I could rotate my foot. And I was in a lot of pain.
Wow.
So this HGH really is miraculous. It is amazing. I love it. And it's easy.
I've heard really good things about it. People were raving about it at Secret Knock.
Yeah, it's amazing. I got my box when I got home, and it's like, I can't wait to start it because it is such an amazing product. It helps me with my stamina. It helps me with my stamina when I get up at 2:30 in the morning and write all day, and I can still function. It's pretty amazing stuff. I can walk 3 miles without dying.
Yeah.
I can do 90 minutes of hot yoga. I can go, do my stuff with my personal trainer. Aubrey. Let me tell you, Aubrey's tough. She is very motivating, and she takes no prisoners. She really motivates you to do what you need to do to get it going.
I think it's great.
And when I first started, Anson, I could barely do a sit-up, and I did a minute plank. Now my goal is to reach a 5-minute plank like Cher does.
Wow.
Yeah, so I did a minute plank, and I didn't falter anything, and so I'm working on that. I'm a work in progress, and I'm going to keep going till I get to that minute plank. I want to get to that minute plank.
You should video it and put it on your site.
I will. I will. I'm going to have her do it next time, But yeah. So, I mean, it's great. It's great. So, this HGH stuff is the bomb. This is awesome. If you want to know about it, just give me a call, 804-350-0034. It's helped me with everything from losing weight to watching what I'm eating, not what I'm putting in my mouth. I used to be on that seafood and eat it plan. That's when you see food, you eat it. Dangerous program to be on. It's, you're like a gerbil on a wheel. You can't get off it. It's really hard. Are you there?
I'm here.
Oh, all right.
Listening.
All
You're
right.
selling me.
Yeah. So I'm telling you, Anson, this stuff is awesome. It really is. And it goes hand in hand with your alert drops, because your alert drops keep you awake. And I love products that have no side effects.
Yeah.
None. Homeopathy has, and the good thing about homeopathy, it dissolves under your tongue. It goes directly into your system. It's a no-brainer.
With ours, it doesn't. It's even better than that. It's on top of your tongue.
Yeah,
it just hits the top of your tongue, and that's it. It's done.
Yeah, I like it on top of my tongue, but it goes.
Well, it won't work. It won't work under your tongue. It's got to hit the nerve.
Well, I know the alert drops. I was talking about the homeopathic remedies when you put them on.
Oh, sorry. The other.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
But sometimes I put them. To me, it doesn't matter if it's under your tongue or on your tongue. It goes in your system, and that's the way I look at it.
Yeah, absolutely. What do you think of medical CBD oil?
I'm a proponent of it. I really think it helps a lot of people with a lot of things.
It really kills a lot of bad cells, doesn't it?
Yes, it does, and it doesn't touch. It doesn't touch the good cells.
Right. Yeah, I am too. I'm a big proponent for it. It's actually someone who medicine gave up on. It totally cured her.
Really?
Yeah, within 48 days.
Wow.
Of taking it.
Wow. Yeah. That's amazing. I don't like to use that word cure, but I know what you mean. Yeah, and it got her
put
better.
It this way, it's remission.
Yeah.
And it's not. They can't find it now.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That is totally amazing. That really is.
Yeah.
Well, we're winding down to the last 2 minutes. I want to thank you so much for your time tonight. Truly, it's been absolutely amazing. Let's stay in touch, please.
Absolutely.
And I'll talk to Harlan. Harlan was awesome this afternoon. My kudos to him. He is such a great guy. Harlan Bowl is Anson's publicist, and he's amazing. Anson, he is really amazing. Anson, where are they going to see you next time? NBC on the Today Show. What's up?
Oh, I'm doing Megyn Kelly next Tuesday.
Next Tuesday,
Megyn
April
Kelly
3rd.
Tuesday. Yeah, and then I'll be on Kathy Lee and Hoda after that, and then I'll be on a bunch of serious radio stations and some other media.
Yeah,
so I'll be around on TV next week.
Yeah, he'll be on TV next week. So check out Anson Williams on NBC and radio, and he's going to be in New York with Hoda Kotb and Kathy Lee and Megyn Kelly. So check him out next week on TV. Thank you so much, Anson. Can you stay on the line for just 2 seconds after we're done?
Yes.
Okay, all right, because we're going to end. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining me. And Anson Williams, thank you, Anson, so much. I appreciate your time. You're awesome. If you guys have any questions, just give me a call at 804-350-0034. Thank you so much for coming into my house and allowing me to come into your living room. And we won't see you next week, but I'll be doing something next week from Florida. And be amazing. Thank you so much. You Ansons. Oh, you got them turned on?
Oh, you bet.
Man, you are awesome. Thank you so much.
Oh, you bet. You bet. Good. I'm glad.
Man, it turned out good. It turned out good, didn't it, Zen? Yeah, he's happy. He's happy with the audio, and he's happy with